Good morning everybody, my name is Osa and it's Saturday, so we are on Oakfield farm with the harvest in Farm Sim 19. And what is it? Last day of late summer, we have the canola to cut. And that's pretty much it for now. We're still waiting for sugar beets and sunflowers to do their thing, ripen, so we can harvest those. But for right now, this is the last, well, it's first of our oilseed crop, since sunflowers are also oilseeds. How are we doing with the fill rate? Okay. I have no idea if I can make it all the way around the field. But we will give it a go. Well, I got my tea, I got my Mountain Dew, I've had breakfast, my meds, so we are good to settle in for the morning. The tea's a little bit hot today because somebody didn't put the lid on the kettle properly, so I figured I'll let the kettle boil while I have my toast. And I got back in the kitchen and the kettle's still boiling. After a good 5-10 minutes, which probably not good for the kettle, but it does mean my tea is not going to be cold by 9:30. Good morning, long hauler. Welcome to Saturday. So we got a whole bunch of snow yesterday morning, about an inch worth, and then by the afternoon, or by the end of the day, a lot of it had melted. So we got patches everywhere on the grass, but for the most part, the hard top and our driveway, which is gravel, is all clear. What am I doing? 31%. Yeah, 31%. Maybe. Oh, this is... well, this is all the map edge. No, this is the map edge. Okay. So, this is the bit where we don't want to go too far over to the hedge. Yeah, I'm a bit stuffed up. I think it's common cold stuff. Yeah, runny nose, sore throat, that type of thing. But it has been sort of lingering for the week. Anyway, 50%. Okay, are we halfway? Honestly, not sure. If we are, this is exactly the right size of harvester to have for this field. Or should I say, this is the minimum size harvester we would want for this field. I think we're heading back up now, right? I see some weeds in that grass field. We should look into that. Yeah. No, those are fully formed weeds. Part of the problem is once the weeds are fully formed, I can't use the weeder on them. And for some reason we cut that grass and then the next weed growth was full height. But I do see some patches of, or do I? I suppose I could come out here with the weeder and check it out later. Well, back where we started, only 75% full, so good job. Although with things like wheat and barley, we're going to end up with a fuller tank, so you probably do want a bigger harvester for this, just because of those crops. Yeah, it's not so much the rain, it's, I don't know what it is. Okay, what do we got here? We have the class. Oh, we bought the big fend out, so that's a thing. Can't do weeding until we've got this job done. Well, the weeds won't grow for the rest, yeah, until we get until midnight, so that's okay. Be careful here. And whoa, nice. Wasn't sure I was at the right angle. Like I've said before, the depth of perception is bad. But looks like I haven't checked on things lately. So all day sunny, cloudy tomorrow. So that's the first day of fall. Second day of fall, and third day of fall is raining. Fifth day of fall is raining. Yeah, we got a couple of clear days.
Ugh.
Animals are taken care of. Well, that's good. Yeah. No, you can read. And then you can go on the computer. You have to read like every single day.
It's the worst of life.
Yeah. It's the worst, having to read.
I have to learn every single book on this planet so I don't have to read.
Oh, I see. Well, there you have it. You have to read every day. If you want to go on the computer, you have to read every day. But there you go, and that's the rules. You only have to read for half an hour for 2 hours of computer time, so it's not that bad.
Somebody asked why I have to read.
No?
Yeah.
I'm just volunteering information.
Just have to read for 30 seconds.
Go read.
I haven't found the dishwasher first.
Okay.
I haven't even had my cheese stick yet.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do those things.
So, if I'm sick, you guys run the dishwasher, right?
Huh?
If I'm sick, you guys work on the dishwasher, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like I was still in up last time?
Yeah.
But I loaded the dishwasher and I was sick last time.
Well, good.
How's that good? So instead of chat, so bad word too.
What, 30 minutes of reading for 2 hours of computer time? I don't know.
Why couldn't it be 20 minutes?
Because it's 30.
20 minutes goes so fast.
Well, 30 minutes just goes a little bit faster.
No, it goes slow.
Oh, okay.
Is that a kid?
Huh? No, he's a truck driver.
He is?
Yeah.
Kids can drive trucks.
Not big trucks.
You're 18 now.
I don't know.
I can't read for hours.
Oh, I've read for days sometimes. If it's a good book, I can pick up a book and I don't put it down till I finished it.
You don't even wear a coat.
Huh?
You don't even wear a coat.
What has that got to do with reading?
I just want to get off the reading subject.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
You don't wear a coat. That's sad.
Why? I walk outside, I get in the car, I'm driving.
You could get sick.
Yeah,
Like pneumonia.
possibly.
That's probably why you're sick right now.
Huh?
That's probably why you have a cold.
Yeah.
But you haven't been wearing a coat outside.
I haven't been outside.
You only go to a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hate wearing restrictive clothes in the car. So when I worked shirt and tie office, I'd take my tie with me and put it on when I got there, because I need to be free to move around, be able to look over my shoulder, turn my head, and just don't like restrictions. And you can keep the car warm, but so when I go places, it's kind of, I got the coat in the back seat, and well, I could get out the car, lock the car, run to the door and get inside, or I can stand outside, put my coat on, walk into the office, and then take my coat off immediately. And it's probably, I'm going to be outside for far longer putting my coat on and taking it off than if I just run to the office. Yeah, see, I've been doing it for years, so generally fine down to about 18 degrees, so long as it is not windy for very short periods. I mean, obviously I'm not going to go outside and do yard work at 30 degrees outside, but if I'm outside, as like I said, for a couple of minutes, walking between stores, whatever, I can do that comfortably down to about 18 degrees. But then if it's windy, that wind chill just changes everything. I think the only book I had to quit reading was the one by Tom Clancy where a plane crashed into the White House and made Jack Ryan president. And I was reading that September 2001, and sometime during October it was like, I can't keep the real world and this book separate, so I had to put the book down for about 8 months. Which was rather annoying because it was a 2-part series, and or a 2-part story, and so it was kind of difficult to stop halfway through it, but I just had to put the book down, and I did that. And where is... I should have gone backwards, shouldn't I? Yeah, picked it up. I read it cover to cover in a couple of weeks. But yeah, reading it during September 2001 was just did my head in. Yes, I should have gone backwards. Okay. other book I found was it the Foundation and Empire trilogy by Asimov. I read that as a teenager, and that is a heavy set of books. And whoops, wrong one. And I read Foundation, not a problem. And I picked up Foundation and Empire, which was the second book in the series. I must have read the first chapter about 5 times, and I just could not get into it. And so I just put it down and just sort of, I can't do this. And the problem was because it was a book I was reading and not a book that I had, I put it down not in the bookshelf. So eventually, years later, I get to the point where I should probably try reading this series again. I'll start from the beginning. And I read Foundation, which was in the bookshelf. And then I looked for Foundation and Empire. I could not find it anywhere. And I bought the first book as a trilogy, as part of a. It wasn't a box set, but it was, a set. So you put the book side by side, and it created a picture. And of course, I was missing the middle of the picture, and I ended up picking up Foundation and Empire at a flea market. So not part of the same set, but at least I could read the book. So I read that book. Then I got into Second Foundation, which was the third in the series. It's quite a good series, but that second book was just so heavy reading, especially for a young teen. Wizard of Earth and Sea. I'm not sure I've come across that one. I did like. A lot of my friends at college were into David Eddings' The Belgariad, and I think the next series was The Malorian. And the problem was they got into it while it was still being written, and both series are 5 books long, and the writer took 1 year per book. And so they'd go out and buy the new book and read it in a week, and then gripe about it for the next 11 months until the next book in the series came out. Okay. I waited until all 5 were out, and then I bought the Belgariad box set and read it end to end in less than a month, I think. But I waited for the next, till he produced the 5th book of the second series before I even bothered buying any of them. And that's probably why I binge watch TV these days. I don't. Waiting for the next in the series is just painful, especially with books where it's a year apart. And similar with Harry Potter, they were a year apart and then some. And I like to sit down with the series and just go for it. But I think of David Eddings' books, I liked. The Belgariad was okay. Great characterizations. But his other series, what was it called? It was basically the one with the paladins from various factions, and that was just as funny as all get out. Because you basically got, for UK history type of thing, they are Knights Templar, so they all work for the church. But each church has a different, slightly different doctrinal take on things. And so one of them is completely celibate, because that's what the church calls for, and another one is whoring and gambling like crazy because, hey, his church isn't as strictly religious. But it was a good series. But yes, I got into the Dragon Riders of Pern young, but I only read a couple of them. I never read that many. Again, good premise. It was sticking with it. It was, getting grabbed by the story and sort of, I need to find out what happens in the end. And it didn't really grab me, that one. Okay, that's 2 laps, so now I have to... This is where GPS would come in useful. Oops, excuse me. Because I could pick a couple of rows in and just do a cut in, but oops, a little bit close. Not sure how full we are now. I'm guessing we're going to fill this thing up. It's going to be very close. That much is certain. Yep, we are full. Engine on reverse. So, 3 headlands in 1 trailer, plus probably a little bit extra in the harvester. Time is 10 AM game time, so we should be good to finish this field before the end of the day. Oh, now the end of the last episode, I was just finishing off the wheat. There's some wheat down there somewhere, underneath the map. I was having bugging out issues with the tipper, and yeah, that happened. Oh, there we go. Delay on this thing is annoying. So what we have to do is make sure we are tipping canola into the thing and not under it. Now, I don't know what that was about last week, but I think I ended up cheating back in 1,000 litres of wheat because that last load just went underneath the silo. I tried using the belts, that didn't work, and that's usually good, so I'm guessing the wheat dropped a long way to 0 height, and I guess when you look at where we are and where the bottom of the valley is, 0 height's quite a long way down. I don't think the render distance is far enough, but because of the way the edge of the map works, I could try flying off the air or zooming out the view, sort of coming out here and then going underground over there somewhere, but I don't think the view range is sufficient. Okay, we can turn that off and get back in here. So I am going to, we're going to need the map just because I want the compass. So, okay, 180 is actually that way. I suppose I can cut through that way. That's no biggie. Okay, wheels straight, power on, go. And we're actually quite a long way from that corner. But, I think this will work for now. I may go from here to the, well, we're going to be going loops, but I may work the right hand side first. So we'll go down here, do a 180, pull up on the left row to make an area we can unload on, and then we'll keep widening this gap until I get to the point where it's just easier to go round the outside of that island, or the patch on our right currently. Probably going to end up with a full tank quite quickly anyway. That is not, we've been tending right a little bit. We started about 179.6, we're at 180.6. So a little bit of a dog leg there. But that's not bad for straight-ish. I wonder if we'll be able to see it from this end. Not easy to tell, so I think we did a fairly good job there. Now I don't need the map because we're just driving to the edge of the crop. Okay, no worries. I probably have to do that later. I think I mentioned last week we now are getting ads from our local hardware stores that they have upright freezers in stock. Not many, but they have some. And we kind of need one, so that might be a trip this weekend. We now have stairs in the basement again. They were taken down on Monday. In fact, they were taken down very loudly on Monday because they were actually that unsafe. And he broke one of the water lines down there, so he had to spend part of Monday fixing the water line before he could get back to putting the stairs up. Yeah, the stairs came down with an almighty crash and actually broke into 3 pieces. Because, yeah, it was that well put together.